What if the financial rules designed to limit the wealthy actually contain a hidden key? We're told that our financial system has guardrails. One of the most famous is the income limit for a Roth IRA. Earn too much, over about $161,000 as a single person, and the door to this powerful retirement account slams shut. It's supposed to be a tool for the middle class, a way to build a nest egg that grows and can be withdrawn completely tax-free in retirement. The message seems clear. If you're a high earner, this particular tax-free paradise is not for you. But this clear rule creates a deep and fascinating contradiction. We see a system that, on one hand, preaches fairness and tiered access, yet on the other, seems to be consistently navigated by those with the right map. The existence of this limit feels like a moral statement, but the whispers of a workaround suggest it might just be a riddle. This isn't just about saving for retirement. It's about the nature of the rules themselves. Are they solid walls or elaborate illusions? In this video, we are going to deconstruct the single most famous loophole for high earners, the Backdoor Roth IRA. But we're not just going to give you a how-to. We will dissect the architecture of this strategy to understand why it exists, what it reveals about the psychology of our tax code, and whether it's a brilliant feature or a fundamental flaw in the system. To do that, we first need to understand the myth that holds most people back. Most people believe the IRS income limit is an impenetrable wall. The logic is simple and linear. I earn X, the limit is Y. Since X is greater than Y, I am disqualified. End of story. Financial websites state it plainly. Even some financial advisors will tell you that a Roth IRA is off the table once your income crosses that threshold. The official IRS publications present a clear chart with income phase-outs, reinforcing this idea of a hard stop. It's presented as a fact of financial life, a rule as concrete as gravity. For millions of Americans, this is where the inquiry ends. They accept the surface-level truth and move on, placing their retirement savings into other vehicles, never questioning the finality of that closed door. But what if the rule wasn't about who is allowed to have a Roth IRA, but was instead a hyper-specific regulation about only one of the many ways to fund it? If the government wanted to truly bar high earners from Roth accounts, wouldn't they have made the rule simpler and more absolute? This small crack in the logic is our entry point. It suggests the wall might not be a wall at all. To understand how this wall crumbles, we need to apply a new analytical lens. Let's call it the principle of unrelated actions. The tax code is not one single cohesive story. It's a collection of thousands of separate, often overlapping, and sometimes contradictory rules written at different times for different purposes. The backdoor Roth strategy doesn't work by breaking a rule. It works by exploiting the empty space between two completely separate rules. Rule number 1 governs direct contributions to a Roth IRA, and yes, it has a strict income limit. But rule number 2, which governs converting a traditional IRA into a Roth IRA, has no income limit at all. Let's re-examine the process through this lens. You, a high earner, are blocked by rule number 1. So, you perform action A, contribute money to a traditional IRA. There's no income limit to do this. Your action is perfectly legal. Then, you perform action B. You immediately convert that traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. Rule number 2 allows this for anyone, regardless of income. Your second action is also perfectly legal. By separating the single goal, funding a Roth, into two distinct and legally permitted steps, you have bypassed the original limitation. The system isn't seeing one forbidden act, it's seeing two permitted ones. This is our first major revelation. The restriction isn't on the destination, but on the direct flight path. What you've found is a connecting flight the system wasn't designed to advertise. But if it were that simple, everyone would do it. And this is where the system reveals its true complexity, its hidden trap. If everything we've said is true, then we cannot ignore the one provision that seems specifically designed to destroy this strategy, the Pro-Rata rule. This is the big twist. The IRS essentially says that when you convert money from a traditional IRA to a Roth, you can't just pick and choose which dollars to move. It looks at all of your traditional IRA accounts as one giant pool of money. If that pool contains both pre-tax dollars, money you got a deduction on, and after-tax dollars, which is what you used for the backdoor contribution, you can't just convert the after-tax portion. You are forced to convert a proportional slice, or a pro-rata share, of the entire pool. For anyone who has been saving in a traditional IRA for years, this is a disaster. It means a huge portion of their conversion will be taxable, triggering a massive, unexpected bill that completely defeats the purpose of the strategy. This is the system's elegant defense mechanism. It seems to render the loophole useless for the very people most likely to have retirement savings. So, if the pro-rata rule is the lock, does a key even exist? Or is this whole thing a financial mirage? To answer that, we have to look beyond the IRA itself and find a blind spot in the rule's vision. This is the point of maximum frustration. It feels like a bait and switch, a cruel joke where the system presents an opportunity only to reveal a crippling penalty at the last second. It's an intentionally complex barrier, designed to discourage and confuse. In many ways, this dynamic mirrors a classic narrative structure found in mythology or heist films. The hero discovers a secret passage, only to find it protected by an intricate series of traps. The pro-rata rule is the tax code's laser grid. It is silent, invisible, and devastating to the unprepared. Trying to navigate it feels like you're being punished for playing the game too well. But like any good security system, its strength is also its weakness. It's designed to monitor one specific area, the movement of money between IRAs. To find the solution, we can't go through the grid. We have to find a way to shut it down entirely. And the off switch is hidden in the last place most people think to look. But I know what you're thinking. Why go through all this trouble? What about the 401k? Isn't that the primary, state-sanctioned retirement vehicle for high-earning employees? It offers high contribution limits and a tax deduction. That path seems to refute the need for this complex backdoor strategy. It's the most common and powerful counter-argument. But this is the final piece of our deconstruction. The 401k is not the alternative to the backdoor Roth. It is the final key that unlocks it.